Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Haris. I'm a graduate of dental surgery from Lahore. And in this video, we'll be discussing about dentin, which is a very important topic, especially for the dental students, and I'll make this as easy for you as possible. So, let's find out what is dentin. Dentin is a hard tissue that forms the main body of the tooth. In the crown, it is covered by the calcified enamel, and in the root, it is covered by the calcified cementum, and it itself covers the bulb space inside the tooth. It is composed of 70% inorganic material in the form of hydroxyapatite crystals and 20% organic material in the form of collagen, proteins and lipids, and 10% water. Now it is very unique, and the uniqueness is imparted by the fine tubules that are present inside it and are known as the dentinal tubules. The dentinal tubules extend the entire thickness of dentin. For convenience, we divide a tooth in thirds. We have an apical third that is near the apical foramen, a middle third, and a coronal third. And dentinal tubules are present everywhere inside dentin. They are larger near the pulp, and they progressively thin as we move towards the dentino-enamel junction. They follow an S-shaped course, and they are tapered. Their number is huge. I mean, there are 60,000 to 75,000 dentinal tubules per square millimeter of dentin near the pulp, and they reduce in number towards the dentino-enamel junction. So whenever we view dentin under a microscope, we find that there is a small layer of immature and unmineralized dentin before dentin, and that layer is known as the predentin. It's important for us to know that there are no dentinal tubules inside the predentin. The dentinal tubules begin in the region where the predentin starts to get mineralized, and that region is known as the mineralization front. So the dentinal tubules begin at the mineralization front and they move towards the dentino-enamel junction. It's important for us to know that the dentinal tubules are linked to each other with an excellent branching system. And each dentinal tubule is linked to the tubules adjacent to it. And this forms an extremely important system for nourishment of dentin itself, because dentin does not have its blood supply. It is avascular. Now the contents of dentinal tubules are very important. Every dentinal tubule in healthy dentin has a cytoplasmic extension of odontoblast, which is known as the odontoblast process. Now an odontoblast is a cell that forms dentin. And in addition to the odontoblast process, a dentinal tubule is filled with a fluid. This fluid, which is known as the dentinal fluid, is a transudative plasma, and it consists of ions and nutritive substances that nourish the dentin. Some of the dentinal tubules also consist of an axon. Now, clinically, whenever there is an incidence of caries, a carious lesion progresses from the enamel towards the dentin. When the carious lesion, the bacteria, enter the dentin from the enamel, they find dentinal tubules, and the dentinal tubules provide them a pathway towards the pulp, and they rush towards the pulp. The dentinal caries progresses twice as fast as enamel caries, but the pulp, however, is protected. It has its own protective mechanisms, and it's also protected by dentin itself. Now, how does that happen? That will be told in my next video, but if you find this video informative and useful, please give a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.